Well, I'm back from a fantastic week in Tunisia with the wife and kids. I have to admit at being a little bit annoyed at flying at 7 o'clock on the evening that the Euro election results were due in. But I figured what the heck, we'll find out the results when we arrived in Tunisia. And, as anyone who's travelled with young kids can imagine, dragging the kids around this unknown place we just arrived in to find a news programme to watch the Euro election results come in a very hot country that has no interest in the results anyway, at 11:30 at night, didn't go down very well with the wife and kids, so I had to wait until the next morning. The morning arrived and I flew out of bed ready to start the day with a bacon and sausage all-you-can-eat buffet breakfast. Then I was going to find a news channel being shown somewhere, or a newspaper at the very least, to see the EU election results. Breakfast ended up being a couple of fried eggs and a bit of bread. No bacon, no sausage. And as for the news channel, well, I quickly discovered that we were literally in the middle of nowhere. As we arrived late, I didn't really take anything in, and I just assumed that there'd be loads of bars trying to entice me into their establishment to sample their fine wares by showing repeats of major political events over the last 20 years. Sadly, I was wrong. Very wrong. One bar, no TV. With the TV idea down the pan, my thoughts then turned to grabbing a newspaper. So, off I popped with my daughter in tow, asking for an ice cream, to the only shop in the hotel resort. As we approached the shop, I could see a newspaper rack outside, stacked full of newspapers. Fantastic, I thought, here we go. I remember feeling a little tinge of excitement as I approached, hoping that UKIP had sent the message to the political scum that I so hoped for. Well, when I finally got to the shop, it was stacked with loads of ice cream, it was stacked with loads of stuffed camels, not real ones obviously, and it was stacked with loads of lilos and hats and sun cream, M&Ms, and the newspaper stand was also stacked with foreign newspapers. Not one British paper in sight, anywhere. Gutted. I was feeling a little more than annoyed by now, so I came up with an idea. I would go against every cell in my body and hunt down a chav or a zombie, slide over to him, have a little chat about the World Cup or the lack of breasts on Miley virus, or even how many tattoos he has. But I would only talk to them if I really had to. After all, I only wanted to glance at the headlines to see if UKIP had won. At this stage, I would have settled for just a yes they did or no they didn't. But having seen loads of chavs and loads of zombies... Oh, as an aside, have you seen what must be the latest must-have tattoo to get on the Jeremy Kyle show? I'm talking about people who have a picture of their kid, say age 4 or 5, tattooed on their upper arm. I mean, come on, what are they thinking? Having been impregnated in a bus stop aged 12, they then decide to have a picture of their kid tattooed on their upper arm. Lovely. But when they're 40 and they weigh about 25 stone from a stressful life of not working, expecting everyone to do everything for you and to provide copious amounts of food for you, how do you think your daughter's face is going to look on your upper arm then? Well, I'll tell you. Whatever she looked like when you had it done, she now looks like a fat version of Rick fucking Waller with long hair. I know I can be a judgmental prick at times, but anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the zombies and chavs. Saw loads of them, but none of them had newspapers. Gutted. This really annoyed me even more. Then my daughter pushed me into the pool. This was the low point because I wasn't actually in my swimming shorts at the time, but I smiled and laughed along with everybody else. Ha 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 ha, how funny my daughter can be. As a last resort, I even tried to use the free Wi-Fi that the hotel manager told me was available for guests in the hotel reception. Try as I did, I just couldn't get it to work. I wasn't happy. Really wasn't happy. Over the next couple of days, I actually felt quite anxious about not being able to see the results and not being able to see what's happening in the world. It was like a news blackout, like I was missing out on something. So much so that my wife asked me at one point if I was okay. And it was one of those, "Are you okay?" I knew what she really meant. In saying those 3 words, she was actually saying, sort yourself out and stop being a miserable prick. You're on holiday with your family, be grateful, be happy, otherwise I'll kick you in the bollocks. Who cares about Danny Alexander anyway? I got the message and it worked because I realised that I needed to accept that I can't see the results until we got home and I should just relax and have fun. And that was exactly what I did. I decided to forget about Danny Alexander and the rest of the Muppets and to enjoy my holiday with my family. And do you know what? The next 5 days were magical. It was a fantastic holiday, one of the best I can remember. By the end of the week, when I realised that there were 3 computers continually hooked up to the free Wi-Fi, meaning I could have browsed at any time at my leisure, I even decided not to log on, and instead I threw my daughter in the pool to get her back for costing me a fortune in fake Magnum ice creams. But the point I'm making is that we all have our vices. Mine is that I need to know what's going on politically and to fit that into my weird vision of the world. I may be right, I may be wrong, who knows? But the zombies and the chavs are doing the same. But instead of caring about election results and the future for the Rick Waller kids, they choose to care about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Coronation Street, EastEnders, Big Brother, The Only Way is Essex, Made in Chelsea, and the Valleys. It's not their fault. Maybe they have never been told just how important the decisions that are being made by politicians in Brussels are to them and their mini Rick Wallers. Maybe we need to redouble our efforts with these people who only seem to care about stuff that we see as trivial, unimportant, and tittle-tattle. They are literally bombarded every day with entertainment and new toys to keep them occupied. They're told that they're cool for having this toy and for having that, and for having the latest iPhone 5C. Maybe, instead of Bring a Cake to Work Day, we should have a Be Kind to Zombie and Chavs Day, where we all pick one topic and discuss it as much as possible with people you wouldn't normally piss on if they were on fire, and try to help them get past the mainstream media bullshit and awaken. We need to try and make the important things that are happening important to these people. It's not easy, but we have to give it a try, don't we? Anyway, I had a lovely holiday, and if you both managed to get to the end of this dribble, then I commend you. And by the way, I did that Euro election video because I truly was desperate to see the commentary of the results when I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday. It may not seem like it, but that video took me virtually all day Monday. The wife wasn't very happy.